the 21-yard line. The Jets work their way onto the field, led by the number 3 overall pick in 2018, Sam Darnold. And during the offseason, Darnold was asked where he was looking to improve. He told everybody being more comfortable in the pocket. He looked back to the numbers from his rookie campaign, 17 touchdowns and 13 starts. So just imagine what a relaxed and more experienced Darnold might be able to accomplish with a stronger set of receivers now here in 2019. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. Not the start they envisioned. Looks like a 3-and-out, and for a team that hasn't won a game in a while, that's tough.
And what we have to look out for and keep an eye on is the same thing that their coaches are doing. Wanting to see if guys are going to get discouraged early and sag because of what's happened in the recent losing streak. Can they stay with it despite a tough first drive?
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider. First down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Darren Waller, 70 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is taken at his 4. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from under pressure now. Darnold, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Rush comes and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Well, not only did they block it, the awareness to go and grab it and then take it into the end zone for 6 points. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The rookie there defensively to knock it away, Trayvon Mullen. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He's got this to his running back, Ty Montgomery. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The 3rd down run gets him nothing.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is Harris. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, 29 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. Yeah, and he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Raiders pick it up. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, and normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Darnold now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Escapes the defender. And here now a spin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. The Raiders last year, they were 25th in the league in rushing, and a good reason why they used one of their 3 first-round picks on Jacobs for runs like we just saw. Jacobs was the first running back taken in this year's draft, 24th overall. That was actually the pick that was originally acquired. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Darren Waller with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as his guys continue to pour it on. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Jacobs. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down, because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On 2nd down now. It's Montgomery, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Darnold, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Manti Te'o in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as his guys continue to pour it on.
That was
and
it,
a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives, they've ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On second down, it's Montgomery, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit. We're not even at halftime.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. On the return, Harris. There goes Harris. 20. Touchdown, Raiders.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And the Jets have got it. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game.
And he loses the football a second time, and the Raiders have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone.
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Haoli Kikaha. In there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. Second, in trouble in the ball. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, you're almost in field goal position.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly.
There he goes left side. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter as his guys continue to pour it on. So go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. An entertaining start to this.
Oh, wait. I'm doing something.
More to come on EA Sports.
He's good, huh?
Set. 52. 52 is the mic. Here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Darnold. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down. Darnold now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half. But he's got a first down here. Back to throw, Darnold.
Huh?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Huh? Shall I live by Walmart in Cuneo?
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyson Alualu racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Harris now to return. And there he goes again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. An impressive punt return of 76 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His second return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. They are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Manti Te'o in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Caught by Montgomery. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. He returns that punt 73 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ty Montgomery in the offense getting set for their next drive. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. Found his target. It's Anderson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tyson Alualu. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Darnold. And the pressure gets to him again. John Timu has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game.
And a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's got some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Harris to return. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Defense wins championship.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He's got the first down here inside the 30. There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken from the 7. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
50 seconds to Mike. Let's go, baby. They turn up. Let's get that ball. Get it.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. And he's loose again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. 72 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is taken at his 4. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Tyson Alualu in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A.
You gotta call her.
He's got a first down past the 30. He's got daylight. The 30, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raiders touchdown. Kendrick Bourne on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Robbie Anderson making his way back onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. On second down now, it's Montgomery. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Manti Te'o in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. It's taken to the 26. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short.
Oh, I'm playing. Yeah, please. Oh, tell her she can cook rice.
Babe, can you make rice?
Just 2 cups.
You guys eat rice with pizza? No, we're gonna order barbecue. Barbecue chicken? Honey barbecue wings. You still like your pizza? Right? No, you still like your pizza?
Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And some room to work. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne, 79 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run. Montgomery. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
What?
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
What the hell is wrong with 2 5?
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, here's your bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Second down and 10, Darnold. And the Raiders have got him. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. He's in a groove right now. 2 sacks last week. Also got AFC Defensive Player of the Week for that effort. Another sack right there.
He just innately understands how to get to the quarterback. He's going to be blocked differently each and every time. He knows how to counter, how to adjust, and how to get home, as they like to say.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And there he goes again. And how about this? He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him. They kicked it to him.
A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This will be taken in at the 1. Fights off the defender. And some room to maneuver. And he's loose again. The 20. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return as his guys continue to pour it on.
I'll give you 10.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Carlson now to add the extra point.
No. You never know. Cool.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
I need a drink to say. Ashley!
So that one goes down as a 99-yard kick return for 6 from the 1-yard line all the way to the house on the other end.
Go grab the $5, 2 5s on top of the dresser, please.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
Tell me that's not that already. It's pretty freaky.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland 1st down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. Look at the spin.
Balance.
It's a gain of 35.
There's a lot of good on that play when we see the big fella take it and rumble into the secondary. But how about the big part of it, taking care of the football? He doesn't carry it very often, but when he does, he's got to make sure that he doesn't get it popped free. Unlike Mike Tolbert in Super Bowl 50, carrying the ball popped free, turnover, and it hurt his team.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. On 2nd down, Martin. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a Doug Martin touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. Yeah, he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And we've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Down. 8, read. Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Ready, ready.
They find some open field here. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Let's go now. 18, Gator. First down, Raiders. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Well, now a carry here for their fullback. Space to maneuver at the 40. Does the big boy have the juice? And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's the fullback. 71 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, that one's hard to believe. Not something you see every day. A very long run for the big guy.
Normally we see his counterpart, right? The scat back, the guy with the so-called speed. But we saw a little bit of everything there, didn't we? The big, powerful man with the football. He can also stretch it out a little bit in the open field.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Offense heading back onto the field to take over. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time.
All those empty seats? You and me trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
He's still on his feet. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach and make it now a pair of touchdowns for the big man out of the backfield.
I'm not sure this was in the game plan, but boy, it's working to perfection. And I know one person has a big grin on his face now, and that's that big guy who's found his way into the end zone twice in this game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Montgomery on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here, because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do, and the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes, might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes. I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Sheds off the tackle. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne, 70 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately, offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Let's get moving, guys.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Raiders pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Cleveland Farrell in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll set up a throw. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
10 logo. 50 seconds to Mike. There's a party now.
Goes right side, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne, 48 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Faking the give, Darnold. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Taken in at the 11. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And a cutback left, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, 97 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
A first down throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
There goes Harris. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? Doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
And Darnold, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. This will be taken in after 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Brings up 3rd down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. He's got the first down and more past midfield. There he goes left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, 64 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be fielded at the 6.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Darnold. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll drop to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line.
Defense.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Answer the door first.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold, and down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Haoli Kikaha, able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's the fullback. 72 yards.
Get over here, we're gonna watch a movie. Don't you go click your tongue like that. It's been a while.